Welcome to SED 368, Math Methods for Learners with Disabilities. This is your first learning lesson video, and it is designed to introduce you to the course. How do you design math instruction that meets the needs of diverse learners while facilitating the acquisition of rigorous standards? In this course, you will explore, implement, and reflect upon research-based strategies that address the needs of learners with and without disabilities. Leveraging a wide range of instructional and assistive technologies, you will engage in collaborative lesson planning activities with opportunities for hands-on practice and regular feedback to help you grow. Get ready to brush up on your math skills, learn alternative methods for problem solving, and think outside of the box. This course may be a little different than you are used to. Many of you may have heard of the idea of a flipped classroom where students engage in readings and supplemental videos at home before class. In fact, many of your college courses require you to do this. The pedagogical approach known as flipped learning takes it one step further. Flipped learning is a pedagogical approach in which direct instruction moves from the group learning space to the individual learning space. This means all of your lectures and individual practice will occur outside class time on your own schedule. Group projects, reflection, and exploration will occur during class. There are 4 pillars of flipped learning. First, the teacher must maintain a flexible environment that establishes spaces and time frames that permit students to interact and reflect on their learning. Second, the flipped learning model deliberately shifts class instruction to a learner-centered approach, where in-class time is dedicated to exploring topics in greater depth and creating rich learning opportunities. As a result, students are actively involved in knowledge construction as they participate in and evaluate their learning in a manner that is personally meaningful. The teacher is the facilitator, scaffolding learning opportunities and providing expert feedback. The third pillar is intentional content. This means the teacher must expertly decide what content requires direct instruction and what students should explore on their own. Finally, the fourth pillar establishes the role of the teacher as a professional educator who is reflective in one's practice, connects with others to improve one's instruction, accepts constructive criticism, and tolerates controlled chaos in one's classroom. While this approach is not appropriate for every lesson in this course, it is my belief, based on feedback from previous semesters, that this pedagogical approach will make this course most beneficial to you. This is my second semester I'm using a flipped model for this course. However, this is the first semester that I am bringing my own voice and experiences into learning lesson videos. If you're nervous about this structure, just know you are not alone. The learning lessons become valuable resources for students to draw upon throughout the semester. Think of it as recording every lecture and having it available to you for every project, every exam, and every assignment. I want to take a moment to highlight some of the key tools, policies, and assignments for this course. We will be using a variety of tech tools in this course. We will do most of the technology setup together during our first couple of classes. So for those of you who are apprehensive about technology, we can get through it together. My policy on technology in this classroom is bring it, use it. Most people today carry around with them powerful computers called a smartphone. We will use those computers on a regular basis. In addition to using them to engage with specific apps, I expect that you are using those devices to look things up when you don't understand something. If you have a laptop, I'm also asking that you bring it to every class. If you do not have a laptop or a mobile device, please let me know, and I will see if we can arrange to have a few extra iPads you can borrow during class time. Technology is any human-made tool that changes the way we do things. So we will use a variety of technologies on a spectrum of low-tech to high-tech in this classroom. All of the technology that I select is purposeful. I select tech tools that allow us to do things that enhance my teaching practices and the course content in ways that couldn't be done without it. I encourage you to regularly reflect on the tools we use in class and how that they can be used in a K-12 setting. Our primary course website will be ReggieNet. This is where you will find course info like links to the syllabus and course outline under the Getting Started tab. You will also find detailed assignment descriptions, your gradebook, and other resources. In the left-hand toolbar, there will be weekly course pages that contain links to all materials, learning lessons, curriculum extensions, and other online tools we will be using in class. If managing your own set of internet bookmarks is not one of your strengths, let ReggieNet be your go-to site because you will find links to everything else we will use. We will use the Remind app for communication outside of class time instead of email. I will send out announcements this way, and you will be able to connect with me as well as others in the course via text message without having to share your cell phone numbers. It is up to you how you fully utilize this app. You can just stick with the app, or you can forward any text to your cell phone number or your email. Most students choose to link it to their cell phone numbers because then you can save your text thread with me the same way that you would save any other text contact. Within the app itself, which can be used on your laptop or on your mobile devices, you can easily find and connect with your classmates outside of class time with individual or group text threads. Edpuzzle will be the host of all of your learning lesson flipped lectures. This website allows me to embed comments and questions into my videos as checks for understanding. I can also lock the fast forward button and view how many times you watched each part of the video. For this course, you will be required to watch learning lesson videos and respond to all checks for understanding prior to coming to class. In our first class, you'll make an account, and then I'll have hyperlinks to all of your videos right on our weekly ReggieNet pages. This is a very user-friendly online tool, but occasionally people have difficulty with videos loading. This is usually because of the browser used. I recommend using Chrome because Edpuzzle is associated with Google. Firefox usually works, but some people have had issues. Safari has given my Mac users a lot of trouble, so if you are having trouble with videos loading, always try switching browsers first. We will utilize many Google Classroom tools like Google Docs and Google Forms. Everyone will make and link a Google Drive folder to house all of your in-class group work. If you aren't already familiar with the process of creating, copying, and sharing files and folders within Google Drive, you'll be an expert after leaving this course. There are many other cloud-based tools like Google Drive, and we will discuss why I selected this as well as other technologies as we use them throughout the semester. The grading for this course is broken into 5 main categories. Approximately 10% of your grade is made up of attendance and in-class activities, so you must be in class to earn those points. At the start of most of our classes, I'll review content from the flipped learning lessons or any required course readings with entrance tickets on tech tools like Nearpod, Kahoot, Plickers, or Socrative, and you will earn points based on how well you perform on those activities. The grading scale is in our course syllabus for these entrance tickets. When we have group work sessions, you will earn points for your participation based on good faith effort. This means you will be expected to really try on these assignments in order to get credit for completing them. I will enter combined A1 grades 4 times this semester at approximately every 4 weeks. Learning lessons and out-of-class curriculum extensions make up approximately 20% of your grade. The syllabus describes what these learning lessons and curriculum extensions may entail and how they are graded. Together, your first 2 assignments are approximately 30% of your grade and are used mostly as formative assessment so I can adjust my instruction. The remaining 70% of your grade is made up of 2 major assignments and 2 exams. 2 exams, a midterm and a final, make up approximately another 20% of your grade. Exams in this class are application-based, so you will be asked to do things like evaluate student assessments, identify evidence-based elements of instruction, and draw representations for math concepts. These exams will be take-home and therefore are open notes. I want you to use your resources just like you would as a teacher. It is my hope that you will be so fluent with the skills needed for these exams by the time we get to them that you will not need to cram right before the test. These exams are designed to reflect authentic teaching tasks. Assignment 4 is a lesson observation. This is the only major assignment that is entirely completed outside of class time. For this assignment, you will need to arrange a lesson observation in a math class that contains at least one student with a disability. The class you observe must be outside of the Bloomington Normal area. The purpose of this requirement is to not overload the local schools who are already housing practicum and field-based students and student teachers. Many students opt to do this assignment in their hometowns over break, so the final report isn't due until after break. Schools today often have strict requirements and hoops to jump through for even observations, so you should contact the school right away to get the process started. You'll have to submit to me the date and location of your observation early in the semester so I know you have something arranged. Assignment 5 involves collaborative lesson plan adaptation and design, as well as implementation with a co-teaching model. This project involves nearly every component that we will cover this semester and is worth 40% of your grade. There are 3 parts to this assignment. For the first part, you will work in a small group of about 2 to 3 students to co-plan a lesson that's adapted from a teacher's manual. The focus of this first lesson plan assignment is to collaboratively brainstorm while emphasizing specific elements of explicit instruction. Most of this part will be completed during class time. Part 2 of this assignment is to utilize a co-teaching model to actually teach your lesson to a group of students in the elementary school that I teach at. Last semester, the students taking this course taught their lesson to their classroom peers in more of a role-playing approach. Try pretending teaching a lesson like addition with regrouping to your college peers. It is just not authentic. So this semester, I found it most crucial to give your hard work and preparation an authentic audience. Logistically, this part will occur outside of regular class time due to the time that we do have class. We will be discussing dates and times and how this will affect our course outline in more depth later. We will, however, be selecting groups during week 3. After teaching this lesson, the third part is a reflection of your teaching. We will go over this assignment in depth later. Grading for your summative assessment assignments is probably a little different than you are used to. Exams are graded based on accuracy with partial credit given. A4, your lesson observation assignment, and A5, the collaborative lesson adaptation and co-teaching assignment, are graded with rubrics. The rubrics used are not typical matrix rubrics where points are added for your final grade. I don't want you to think of your grade as if doing something wrong means points off. I am using a general holistic grading rubric that describes 4 levels of understanding: emerging, developing, basic, and proficient. Every assignment rubric explains the basic level for specific components. If you do exactly what is asked, you will receive a basic level score on that component. In order to earn an advanced or proficient score, you need to go above and beyond minimal requirements in terms of quality or quantity. Rather than adding up your points for your grade, I will look at where most of your scores fall and use the grading scale you see here to determine the points you earn for the assignment. This way of grading reflects my personal teaching philosophy. If you notice, earning mostly basic scores will earn you a 92% of the possible points, or an A-. In order to earn an A for this course, remember the course doesn't give pluses or minuses, you need a 93%, which is beyond basic. This means A-level work requires you to go above and beyond basic understanding. You will bring all assignments to class on their due date unless otherwise indicated. Any worksheet you complete must be printed off and turned into class. Your learning lessons must be completed by 11:59 p.m. the night before the class date you are preparing for. So, if you are watching videos from Monday's class, you must watch them by midnight on Sunday. The reason for this is so I can scan through your checks for understanding responses before class to adapt my instruction if needed. To avoid any confusion, please keep our course outline handy with you at all times. I made little lines next to each assignment so you can check it off after you complete it. Please note, Edpuzzle allows me to easily check if you completed the learning lesson by the assigned time. If you did not complete the learning lesson, you may be asked to leave class and watch it before joining us. This could mean missing out on in-class participation points too. Moral of the story, make sure you are prepared for class. Making the effort to engage with the learning lessons and apply what you learned is a simple way to earn 30% of your course grade. This concludes our course introduction video. Other course policies will be covered through in-class activities. This video should give you a good sense of what the learning lessons will be like. Depending on the content, there may be additional checks for understandings or worksheets that go along with them. I'm looking forward to a great semester and to working together to help you grow as a teacher.